I thought those days were over long ago
Me too.
after the British Empire conquered everything.
Yeah, exactly. And then realized, oh, this cost a lot to run.
Right.
Let's actually, yeah.
Did the Danish
So,
Empire ever conquer anybody other than Greenland? I mean, you just pretty much walked down and planted a flag there.
yeah. So, we used to have one of the biggest navies because we are all, islands and
Hmm.
whatnot. A lot of water. So we've always been good with ships. So yeah, England used to be Danish,
Really?
which were, oh yeah, Danelaw. Have you heard of that?
I'm not sure. I don't think I have.
No. So the Vikings, they came like 1,000 years ago. They came
Hmm.
to England, landed there, and just started settling and spread to like controlling about half of all of England, and then
Right, because they had to
that was
deal with the
called.
Romans, right?
Sorry?
They had to deal with the Romans, didn't they? Where like,
No, the Romans were long gone by then.
oh, okay.
So yeah, then the Vikings came. The part that the Vikings controlled was called Danelaw, and then there were a lot of like other like there were some British or Saxon kings, and there's a lot of war back and forth. And then at one point, everything was united under this Danish or Viking king called King Knut, and he was very successful because he sort of ruled apparently like a Saxon king.
Okay.
And then at some point, all of a sudden, everything just sort of came to a standstill. It became one big country, and a lot of Danes left, but a lot of Danes stayed, and then it's just that's still sort of the situation now. A lot of genes from all over the place in England. So there was England, Sweden, Norway, or at least the southern part of Sweden. Some points, all of Sweden. Norway was Danish for longer than it's ever been Norwegian. But
Wow.
so yeah, now so Denmark used to be big and very influential. We had like the U.S. Virgin Islands were Danish.
Hmm.
So we had some, but luckily we're not an empire anymore. And Norwegians are Norwegians, and they should be, and
I,
Swedes, Swedes, and we're us. So yeah, it makes sense.
I agree.
Yeah,
Have you ever heard the oh man, I know like we're supposed to talk about music and whatnot, but have you ever heard the conspiracy theory that Finland doesn't actually exist?
yeah, I have heard of that.
Have you really?
And
Is it true?
uh,
Is Finland not there?
no, it's not.
I didn't
It's
think so.
I went there once, but I mean, I might have just landed somewhere in Sweden, and who and they because even the language that they speak, it's just made up gibberish. It's not a real language. And
Kind of like German.
Nokia, I mean, nah, I don't believe it. I really don't believe it. So, but yeah, I like that's a good conspiracy theory. I think that's like an anti-conspiracy theory to sort of just, you know, also like I don't know if you knew, but there are no chairs in Spain. They don't have chairs there.
I never heard that.
No, but
No,
now you know, and now you might say it to someone else. It's
it
yeah.
sounds like
I don't
bullshit.
know. It's like it was a Danish program once, like sketch program, and they were making a case for why the chair doesn't exist in Spain,
Huh.
and they made a good case for it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
The things people think of and put out
I
there,
know.
and they make it make sense, and that's the problem.
Exactly. That isn't the issue. So yeah, are you so what just a quick question if all right, like how
Oh
are you
yeah.
sort of seeing this chat going? I'm happy to just let you ask me whatever you feel like asking
Oh,
me or just
pretty much the way I've always done these is we well, I say we, but now it's just me because I left my previous podcast for
Mhm.
it's a long it's a long story.
Okay.
Uh that I really don't want because it's personal matters and whatnot.
Fair
So,
enough. Don't worry.
behind the scenes garbage.
Gotcha.
But pretty much the way I've always ran these is we run them conversationally. We
Good.
talk about the band and everything and your musical journey, and but I like to keep it focused on like the person I'm talking to get to know you. What do how much of you comes out in your music, um, and just to get to know the person behind the music. Everyone's heard the let's talk about the your upcoming shows. Let's talk about the album. Let's talk about the radio stuff.
Yeah,
We just like to have a conversation, and
I like that.
so
Perfect.
we've gotten a lot of compliments from some art, bigger artists in the past that where it's like, wow, that was like really nice getting talked to like a human being.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Yeah. And again, it's easy because I'm just chatting with you. I know you well from you having been to London a couple of times, and
mhm.
by basically just coming to London a couple of times, showing that you're a guy who's serious about metal and supporting the scene. And I mean, it can be really difficult to get someone to come to a show that lives two streets down from the venue.
Let alone
You-
2,000 miles.
Exactly. So no, that's cool because you do interviews every once in a while with people that run a podcast, but you've never really met them before, and you sort of have to figure out who is this person I'm talking to. And but yeah, no, this is very very chilled. I'm
Yeah.
I'm I think that's a great way to do it. Just just chat and see where it goes.
Yep. And of course, for those that don't know, when they watch this, we met at Coalition Fest officially 2025, which was a great time. I am so glad I came for Coalition Fest. That was so much fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Did after Because after we started texting, did I tell you about what happened, or maybe even the second night of Coalition Fest? Did I tell you what happened when we all left after that first night?
No, maybe you did. Refresh my memory.
Because I had drank so much that day. I had like 13 of those the special black currant sours that Signature Brew had made. They
They were
were
good though.
delicious. Oh man, so
Yeah.
good. So I had 13 of those and however many of whatever else I had. So I went to go leave. I don't know what time we all left. Everything had closed, and
Mm.
I'm walking back to my hotel a mile away, just
Yeah.
right down the road.
Perfect.
And I have no idea how long it took me to make it back because I got walking away from the brewery. Pull up my phone. Like, all right, let's pull up the map, see how far I got to go to what road and where I got to turn, and pull up my
Mm.
phone and hit the button. And I'm like, oh, my phone's dead.
Ooh.
Like, well, I know the direction I got to go, and I know roughly where I have to turn. So,
Yeah.
good luck to me. Past that, I there's like small 5-second clips of the walk I remember back. I have no idea how long it took me. I know that I got back to the hotel at least by like 2:15 in the morning due to a bank transaction that I checked at the vending machine at the hotel. I'm like, "Oh my God, I have no idea how long it took me to walk a mile. It could have been an hour, could have been 2 hours. I have no idea."
Yeah.
I don't
I know
even know if
those
I went
walks,
straight
man.
there.
Yeah. Oh man, I know those walks when you're really, really drunk. It's strange because it can feel like you walk for several days and that you've walked for 5 seconds at the same time. It's very strange.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
I'm
wa-
happy you found your way home, man.
oh, me too. It was a very long but instantaneous trip.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like you're traveling in time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like I knew I had to go down and I knew I had to turn at the Black Horse Road train station. And my hotel was at the Tottenham Hale train station, pretty much just a
Gotcha.
block
Yeah,
away
yeah,
from
yeah.
there. So
Oh, I know where you stayed then.
they had the
Yeah, you
Premier
had to.
Inn right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was a nice hotel. It was really nice.
That's nice.
Actually, Casey from Halberd recommended it. So,
Yeah. Cool. No, yeah, I know exactly. I used to live right there. So when you
oh,
walk
okay.
across across the dam, there's like a road over a dam with
Yeah.
reservoirs on both sides. There's a big, tall, white apartment building. I used to live there.
Okay.
So yeah. No, but that's good. Yeah, it was, and I think I mentioned you from the stage, didn't I?
You may have. I don't remember.
Yeah, because I'm quite sure because I let everyone know at Coalition Fest that we've got a guy here who's come all the way. Was it from Chicago?
Yep.
Flew in to be here for this event.
Specifically for Coalition Fest, I was there.
Exactly. That's badass, man. Thanks for coming. It was great. It was fun. So it was for me that show. So I played on the second day,
Yep.
and I had managed to uh, book the Hell, the headliner for the second day, and it's so in the three metal bands that have inspired me the most, have had most of like an impact on me is Metallica,
Of course.
obviously. It's been a gateway band for so many.
As mine.
Metallica, and then another gateway band, Rage Against the Machine, where like I just fell in love with the riff
Oh yeah.
and the Hell.
Really?
Those three, the Hell are just insanely innovative in how they make their music. It's fun. It's incredibly well branded. It's clever, and it's just incredibly catchy. And
Oh
I've
yeah.
like they made. I don't know if you heard it. They made like a hardcore opera in like
Really?
two acts. Yeah, it's called Joris. And the first part is it's about a guy who works in a what's it called, convenience store. No,
Hmm.
not convenience store. What's it called, like
Like a
what do
bodega
you call
or
it? Like a B&Q. No, he's like it's a shop where you buy your tools for whatever.
like a hardware store.
Thank you, a hardware store. He works there. He hates his boss. He wants to have a rock band instead, and he has like this rebellion. And there's it's like skits and tracks and skits and tracks. The first it's only like 25 minutes or so, the first part. But it's brilliantly well made. And then, like, I think a year after, the second part came out, and there he takes his band on tour. They're like, "What to do? We need a car. We need to," and it just goes completely wrong. And but it ends like with they got a gig, but there's no drummer, and then all of a sudden the old boss they hated, he from the hardware store, he comes in, he's like, I play drums, and then they play. It's just something I've never heard done before. Like, who makes it's a fantastic thing. So I think you should check that out if you want to. It's just incredibly funny and really cleverly made. It's
Awesome. I love
super
stuff
great
like that.
stuff. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I got to play with that band. Managed to book them and got to play. Yeah, we weren't main support, but we were just before main support.
Yep.
And our show went well. I don't know if you watched it, but our show went well. And
Oh
then
yeah. I watched you. I got pictures of you.
that's true. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for the pictures. They're amazing, dude. Of course. Thank you.
Pictures are
Uh,
what I do.
they were so great. Thank you.
Well, thank you very
And
much.
then yeah, I got to just to play a good show, and then after that, see one of my three favorite bands in the world play, and I even got up on stage and sang like a chorus of one of their songs called "Everybody Dies,"
Yeah.
and I remember just like for a week after that, I was like on on cloud nine, just like bussing. I'm like thinking, where to from here as a band? What? Mm.
Does it get any
So
better?
exactly. But also, I was like, yeah, well, have I done it now? Is everything done? Did I peak? Is like when you climb Mount Everest, where do you go from there? So
Yeah.
that was how it felt. So that was wonderful and existentially challenging. But
Oh, I bet.
no, we keep trudging on, and but it was great. And it was so great that you were there. Thanks for coming over.
Of course. I'm glad that we could make such good friends as well.
I know.
I mean, the first time we came over there when I came over was in October in 2024 on tour with not Symbiote. Geez, I wish to tour with Symbiote. That'd be fantastic.
They're great too.
Tour
Sacrium.
Sacrium, yeah.
Yeah.
My good buddies in Sacrium and everything, and
Yeah.
met so many of you. I think may have like we briefly crossed paths. I think because I think you came to the Cart and Horses show. I vaguely remember seeing you there because
I
I
did.
remember a
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
with a
yeah.
top hat and camo pants.
That was me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I saw you wearing the same thing at Coalition Fest.
True. Yeah.
And
That is true.
I mean, every show we played, from the first show that we played with like Gutlocker and those guys, all the
Mm.
way through the end, every band in London and across the country that we played with just treated us like family and like we belonged there. And
Nice.
I mean, so very quickly, I just kind of told myself, I'm like, yeah, these guys are all my family now. So
That's great. Yeah, you get to choose your family,
yeah,
or your friends and make them family. So so yeah, can I ask you,
you can ask
because
me
you
anything you
mentioned
want.
this. So what is the difference between, or how did you what was the difference between traveling around in the UK playing with bands around the UK compared to like doing that in around the Chicago area?
Well, it's funny because the area that we covered in England is roughly the size of, like, we'll say the top one third to quarter portion of Illinois.
Yeah.
That's the entire area we drove around. And it's
Yeah.
like, wow, and this is a long way for these people over here, you know?
Yeah.
2 hours
True.
is a long car ride for
I
us.
know,
Like,
two
that's a
hours
commute to
away.
work.
We're on a tour. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, over here, because I mean, we drove from London, then our next town was Wales, or
Mm.
not Wales, that's a country, Cardiff.
Yeah.
And it was like a 2 hour ride. And it's like, this is nothing. And this is an overnight trip for you guys? What the hell?
Yeah. I know.
It's like,
I know.
like 4 hour drive is a day trip for us. 4 hours there,
True.
4 hours back, And
Yeah.
for me, it's
Yeah.
2 hours to every major city, 2 hours to Chicago, 2 hours to Madison, 2 hours to Milwaukee, 2 hours to the Quad Cities where my buddies in St. October are. And it's just,
Mm.
I live out in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I think it's also with, if you live in at least in London, when I remember I lived in Oxford, and coming into London, which we did quite often to visit some family there, it was about 45 minutes to get to London, and then it was 2 hours to get across London.
Oh, God. Uh, would you take the
Yeah.
M25?
Possibly one of the M's. I
I've
don't
uh,
know.
I've heard so much bad stuff about driving the M25 over there, and
Yeah.
I know when Charlotte was driving us around, she avoided it like as much as she could.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's, I assume that's the big ring road that
Yeah,
they have. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess. Like I mean, you'll get there eventually, but yeah, no, driving through London or around London, or you get stuck in traffic all the time. Then you cross, because so I'm actually talking to you from Denmark now. So
okay,
um me, Kate, and Holly, that I think you met also. Yeah.
yep.
So we have a van with a bed in the back that fits us all, and so we drove here, and it's fun as soon as you get to you drive to the ferry at Dover, you take that to Calais in France, and then you drive through France, uh, through Germany, all the way up here. Like hot, well, traffic, yeah, but everything was flowing at, the allowed speed. And oh, it's just so nice.
How come you didn't drive the underground tunnel? Isn't there underground
There is.
highway under the channel?
Yeah, no, you can't drive through it. Well, you can bring your
Oh,
car,
okay,
but it's you drive your car onto a train,
okay,
and then the train takes you there.
okay.
I haven't tried it, but yeah, you can do that too. It's a bit more expensive. It's faster, but it's more expensive. And like I mean, you drive onto a ferry. It's a bit of a thing, It's nice to be on a
Sure.
ferry and bob along and get
Oh
to
yeah.
France. Yeah.
We got a there's a nice vacation spot about 8 hours northeast of me up in Michigan. It's called Mackinac Island. It's kind of the same thing. It's an inhabited island out five
Mm,
miles out into let's see, Michigan, Superior, Huron, Lake Huron, I think. Yeah.
mm.
Kind of where all the Great Lakes converge.
Gotcha.
And like you could take the fast ferry out there or you could take the slow ferry, which takes like an hour ride, and it's just so nice and peaceful
Yeah.
and cold and windy even in the
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine crossing the English Channel on a ferry. That's got to be chilly as well.
Yeah, that's pretty chilly. But I mean, you stay indoors, you have a cup of coffee, and you look out, and yeah, and just calm down a little bit, and then while you do nothing at all, you're moving. You you're moving to France, which is nice. No, so yeah, no, but I'm yeah, so
Now, on your
I
trip to
guess yeah,
Denmark, you had mentioned you made a stop on the way at a market, right?
we did.
Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, sure. So
What's up?
that's Holly. So I have two female partners. I'm in a throuple, and Holly, she uh, had seen that in Hamburg there was a kink Christmas market, and she wanted to go there. And then you have a van, and it's easy to find a place in Hamburg to park, and it costs like nothing, like I think the equivalent of $20 to like just park overnight in the middle of the city.
That's not bad.
And no, not at all. And we slept in the van, but like 5 minutes walk from the van, there's a kink market, and it was huge. It was really big, and yeah, you just walk through it, and then there's a place that sells glühwein. Then there's a place that sells candles shaped like genitals. Then there's a place that sells some nice Christmas cakes. Then there's a kink shop, and there's a big stage where they'd had all kinds of different sort of striptease shows with Santa Claus coming in, getting undressed, and showing his sack, I assume.
Yeah, of
And
course.
but it was just packed with people,
It was
families, small kids, and oh, it
wow.
was great. Yeah, no, it was fantastic.
That's
I
why I love
really
the
enjoyed it.
Germans. They're so open with stuff. Well, all Europe. I mean, as
Yeah,
opposed to America, like we're fucking prudes over here, man.
I don't. Europe, mainland Europe is a bit more chill than even the UK,
I mean,
which is
yeah, they
something
show
that.
boobs on TV. We can't even barely get a butt crack.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
Bo- Boobs are great. They should be on television all the time.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
exactly. No, it was lovely. We had a stop there, and then we yeah, drove all the way to Denmark. 18 hours all in all of
Man, that's a
drive.
long walk.
Yeah, so we split it up in a
It's like
couple of
from here to Denver.
yeah. That is long. I've been to Denver and I've been to Chicago, so I have an idea when you say from here to Denver.
But you didn't drive it though, and it's the most boring fucking drive on the planet that I've
Yeah.
experienced
Okay.
because it's damn near a straight line.
Hmm.
Basically, we go from where I am, I'd drive down an hour or so to get on I-80, and then I would just take I-80 to Denver. That's it. Just
One
straight.
road.
Just one
Yeah.
road pretty much. Well, it does veer off at the border of Nebraska, Wyoming, and Colorado, where you can go off and you can go to, and then I-80 will take you straight to the front entrance of Yellowstone National Park,
Mm.
or you can veer off and it'll take you to Denver through the flattest part of Colorado. Oh my God, it's boring. You can see the mountains, they never get any bigger, but you're just driving across a flat piece of land and it never
Yeah,
changes.
that does sound that sounds hard for the soul.
It
But it
is.
also sounds very American. That's like when you're from Europe, that's like highway is it 66? Yeah.
Yeah, Route
Like
66.
you just get on the road and you just keep driving, and there's just a road that disappears into the horizon and nothing happening.
Pretty
Uh,
much.
some tumbleweed flow across or blow across the road, and yeah.
And that's once you hit the Southwest. I mean, Route 66 starts in Chicago.
All right.
Yeah. We can actually, it was, I think it was one of the first transcontinental highways.
Okay. Yeah.
Some of it's like blocked off and not in use anymore just from years of disrepair and whatnot. But
Gotcha. All
there's
right.
one section of it that it's musical because, on like on, I don't know if they do it over there, but on the shoulders of the highway, they'll grind it down and
Yeah.
the rumble strips.
Oh yeah.
Or if you're falling asleep and you veer off, you
Exactly.
know,
Brrr. Yeah.
and they actually have, if you drive 55 miles an hour over these rumble strips, it plays, oh, what song is it? It might be God Bless America or the national anthem.
Really?
I can't remember, but it's pretty cool though. They mathed it all out and they laid it out, and yeah, at
That
the
is
perfect
cool.
speed, it plays it at the perfect tempo and everything. Yeah.
But it is also very American to make it uh like your national anthem instead of like Highway to Hell or something.
Right. Which is pretty much what it is because it's through the fucking desert.
Yeah.
Another great thing about America, we have every damn near every habitat you could want. We got the boreal rainforests in the northwest. We got the
Yeah.
Great Plains. We got the
Yeah.
desert. We got the basically the jungle out east.
Yeah.
On the forests and the conifers and deciduous. It's like Springfield, but Springfield from The Simpsons, but on a larger scale.
Check. It is a big country, man. It is a big country.
And each
Yeah.
state's kind of like its own little country.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean,
Makes sense.
between
I've
Illinois and Wisconsin, I'm 30 minutes from Wisconsin, and the culture is totally different up there.
really. Yeah.
Like in Wisconsin, the joke is that you're really not a citizen of Wisconsin until you have at least 1 to 3 DUIs, OWIs, operating while intoxicated, drunk driving
Yeah.
tickets. Then it's like, yeah, you're an official resident of Wisconsin because they have the 48 of the top 50 drunkest counties in America.
Yes.
It's beer and cheese. That's all it
Beer and
is.
cheese. Oh
Beer, cheese,
man.
and sausage. It was settled by the Germans, so that should tell you a lot.
That makes sense. Ah, gotcha, gotcha. It's Autobahn, no speed limitations, cheese and beer.
Yep.
And
Sausage.
yeah,
Lots of
that's
sausage.
a recipe for disaster. Yeah.
And then right next to Wisconsin, of course, we have Chicago, which is full of Poles. The largest
Oh,
Polish population outside of Warsaw, actually.
really?
Yeah.
Cool. Poles. That's awesome. Yeah. Lots of Poles here in the UK too. Not that many Poles in Denmark, but yeah, I know a lot of Poles, and
Now,
I've
Denmark's an interesting
like
country. I mean, because it's like half islands and you all have regional, well, yeah, we have regional dialects too, I guess. But uh, how do they vary from like region or town to town? Did they vary a lot? Like if you're from like far east Denmark, can you understand someone from the western end of Denmark?
you can because now like sort of the standard Danish is has like everyone speaks it. That wasn't the case, let's say, 2 generations ago.
Sure.
Um, and because of especially because of Denmark being made up of a lot of islands, then uh, dialects would develop that were very different from what was spoken in Copenhagen. But it's yeah, it's all standard now. But you can very clearly hear uh, the dialect. So I can just quickly to give you an example of this of the dialects of Denmark. When I'm speaking now, when I'm speaking to you now, I'm sort of speaking with the same intonation as if I was speaking Danish from this part of Denmark, the northern part of Denmark. So if I would to speak Danish, så vil jeg snakke sådan her, og det vil være den samme intonation ud, når jeg taler. So basically what I'm saying, it's the same intonation, but as in, what I'm speaking now. But if you're in Copenhagen, you speak like Lars Ulrich from Metallica.
Okay.
And basically, you sing a little bit when you talk about going touring with Metallica. So that's sort of like how you speak. And he has never really gotten rid of that Copenhagen accent. So is really funny to see, especially when you're from Denmark. You're like, oh, dude, you think you're all American? You're twanging your R's.
Right.
You're from Copenhagen, dude. You can't change that. It's all the singing, yeah. But yeah, so there's singing in Copenhagen. There isn't any singing where I'm from. Um,
Is it more of like a like a working man's kind of dialect where you're from?
it is hillbilly country,
Yeah.
farm country.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's like where I live, farm country.
exactly. Yeah, like this dialect isn't my dialect isn't considered uh, distinguished or yeah, no, we sound like farmers. But after having lived around the world and done various things, now lived in the UK, and I really like having come from there because where I grew up, there wasn't like pretentiousness didn't exist, right? Because everyone was a farmer, and it's difficult to be pretentious if even though you take a shower, you still smell of pig shit.
Right.
So I remember there was one person that I knew of through my parents, as a friend of my parents. She used nail polish, and people were just like, there must be something wrong in her head using nail polish. Like, why? We're out here trying to make bacon and dairy
Right.
products, and she's like wearing nail polish. That's bizarre. And like a fur coat. So people talked about her because everyone else was just, you know, my mom. I've never seen my mom in makeup, for instance. Never. My dad wears makeup all the time, of course, but my
Of course,
mom,
yeah. Very, very progressive Europeans you are, yes.
exactly. Yeah, he always before he goes out to the pigs, skull paint
All right,
just to
yeah.
show them who's a. Yeah, no. So you grow up in a place where you're really not pretentious. It's not a thing that I knew of, and then you move to London or you move to. I lived in Shanghai in China for many years, and you see people there sort of trying to instead of being who they are, they're trying to pretend to be who they want to be.
Mhm.
And because I grew up where I did, it's easy to sort of spot that and
Yeah,
be
you can
like, all
see through the
right,
bullshit.
yeah, exactly. And so it's never intimidated me when someone comes and seems to be a bit more than someone else. I'm just like, all right, he or she yeah, it must be hard to be them. They can't really relax or they can't really. I don't know. It's so I've been really blessed with having that ability to pick people quite easily, and without being intimidated by someone who pretends to be something. And this goes with I've met with I know I've like say I've one of my good friends. She's the daughter of the third president of Botswana, for instance. Like
Oh,
I've
wow.
visited the state house in Botswana where they live and stuff, and they have an immense amount of wealth, and everyone knows them, and they're treated like royalty. And I'm just observing that from an anthropological perspective. Like, how does this creature um, navigate in the world?
Right.
And they're not happier or sadder than anyone else. They just have a lot of money, and that's often quite confusing and leaves you with less to strive for and work for. And yeah, no, they're just all, and some, of course. Some become like when you are on that level, you're not pretentious. You just are very, very wealthy and very, very well known.
Right.
And you have to sort of try to deal with that. You don't want to seem, you just try to keep to yourself and try to stay normal. But the people that want to be there
They,
try to
they
sort of
put out a
pretend.
different energy.
Exactly. And it's just so fun to encounter and like, oh, you're one of those. Oh, you'll be all right someday. You'll land on your feet.
Yep.
I believe in you, man. Yeah.
So let's talk about Levy a little bit. We haven't even really talked about music yet. Barely.
Uh, but
So,
yeah, we needed a little catch up. Yeah.
yeah. And this will all probably go on mostly uncut. So I'm very
Got
big on transparency as well. So
nice. I like
uh
that.
and transparency uncut, raw, just human.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
so when did you actually start Levee? Has Levee kind of always been, have you been working on it for decades, or did you start it like when you were in China, you needed something to let loose, or how long you been doing Levee, or how many bands have you been in over the years even?
So Levy started when I lived in Shanghai,
Oh
and it
wow,
was
I wasn't too
about
far off.
no. It started about 10 years ago. So before that, I played in a band in Shanghai. I played drums in a punk band in Shanghai called Pirate Panties. And that was it was fun because we were incredibly bad at playing it. I'm not a drummer per se, but I was by far the best on my instrument in that band. Um, and the singer at that point was didn't really hit the notes or whatnot, and had a lot of he was very self-conscious of like what he was singing. And then at one point we sort of all just agreed, well, because the front singer was an amazing writer and author, and he would write the most amazing lyrics. And we just like realized, well, we sound the way we sound, and what we are putting out there, we mean. And then all of that sort of set us free. So we played all these really energetic, fun punk shows in Shanghai. I was on drums, and I didn't. That was sort of where I realized I could play in a band. And this is like in 2000 and let's go back to 2010 with this one. 2008, 10. Uh, then I had to leave China and finish my studies. They got a new drummer in that was called Devin, who was an actual drummer and played really, really well. And I was just heartbroken because all of a sudden they continued with a drummer that was by far better than me. And so, oh, fate would have it that that new band, they were called Boys Climbing Ropes.
Hmm,
They split up, and then I came back to Shanghai, and then me and Devin, their new drummer, got together and started playing some songs together. And I was thinking, well, we need to find a bass player. But where is their bass player? Oh, well, we have a show coming up. Let's just try to play guitar and drums and just, don't take it
hmm,
too seriously. And then we played a concert. I think we played probably 25 minutes or something.
sure.
And the feedback we got was really, really good. And I didn't know until then that I was able to be a front man in a band. Uh, and that's just all like confidence, like how you see yourself. I didn't see myself as a front man. I didn't see myself as a guitar player necessarily because I would compare myself to people that were much better. But
And that's the hardest thing about being a musician. We compare ourselves to everybody.
exactly, exactly. And we often compare like small skills within
Hmm.
being a musician. So I'll be like, oh, I can't sweep pick, for instance. And then I'll like, oh, this guy is incredibly good at it. I must suck on all levels of my personality, right? So, uh, but I realized that I was quite free on stage, and I was quite, I, I liked being on stage. I was very relaxed, and I was good at conveying the energy of the songs to the people, and also I realized that playing with just me playing guitar and singing, and then a drummer, just made being in a band so much easier.
Sure.
Anything from like practice. Do you want should we practice? Yeah. When are you off? Tomorrow at 4. Let's do it. Done. Like you don't have to like plan weeks ahead. If you have a show, there's just one person that has to be, apart from yourself, that has to be available for that show. And also, when you practice or prep for a show or play a show, there's only that one human relationship that you have, or one human relation that you have, which makes it so simple and nice. It's basically, I'm gonna, instead of thinking, okay, I'm gonna go and meet up with a group of people, we need to try to create something. And it comes with a lot of stress. Is it gonna be good?
Hmm.
Do I have the energy? Like when it's just one guy, like imagine we play in a band together, right? We meet up, and this is something I do. I still do that. Um, we start with couch time. We just sit down, we have a cup of coffee or a cup of hot chocolate or a beer, and then we just find a couch. We sit on a couch. We just get up to date on what's going on in your life, what's going on in my life. So like playing in this band with Levy, it's like equal parts playing music, equal parts therapy because I've gone through a divorce. I've gone through all kinds of different things. And then you meet up with a good friend, and before you play, you have a beer and you talk about what's going on in your life, what's going on in
Right.
mine. And then you're connected and you sort of reaffirm the love you have for each other and the friendship. And then you're like, okay, let's play. And then we start playing and we focus a lot on like what to do when we play live. Um, And yeah, so back then when I played with Devin, that's like about 10 years ago now, um, he was very much like an indie drummer.
Okay.
And he wasn't a metal drummer. And that added something wonderful to because I thought, okay, we're gonna play hard rock. But he had all these like very indie fills, but it worked. And it was something I hadn't thought of could work, but it did. Then we played, and back then we were called the Edited Arc. We weren't called
Hmm.
Levy. And we played and we became quite big on the like underground circuit in Shanghai, um, which is a fun circuit to be a part of because if you meet a metalhead in Shanghai, even though there are like, I don't know, 23 million people living in Shanghai,
Right.
if you have decided to become a metalhead with tattoos and body mods and embracing that culture and the aggression of the music, you have almost certainly also had a huge clash with your parents
Interesting.
because it is much more conservative on that like level and like the family level, what you're expected to, take these steps throughout life, school, get married, have kids, blah blah blah.
Right.
And if you stray from that, it you're gonna take some pounding. And but so the metal heads that you'd meet in the underground there, they weren't many, but the ones that were there they were like hardcore.
Oh, it
They'd
sounds
paid a
like it.
price to be there, and they were just wonderful. So yeah, we played there for a couple of years, and then I moved to England, and I started looking for a drummer. And yeah, I finally found a guy from Norway called Frederick, and we started playing just just was it just after COVID? Yeah, just like during COVID, and the sort of aftermath of COVID, we found each other and we set up a couple of shows. He's an amazing drummer, and then we needed to call ourselves something, and we decided on Levy. Um, I
Because
like
you were just holding back.
I good one. I like I like the name Levy because I sort of use the band. It's like it's a levee up in my head that keeps whatever flow in check,
Sure.
right?
Right.
And I like that. I also like how it looks when it's spelled. It's got three E's and an L that looks a bit like an E, and so it looks good written. But also, um, I have a company that does business where, well, our clients are in Zimbabwe and our suppliers are in China. And I have a Zimbabwean business partner. Her name is Susan, and she had a son while we were working together, and his name was Levon, and we just called him Levi.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh yeah, it was." There was a song that came out from was it Catatonia, the Swedish Catatonia, and
Great band. I photographed them a couple years ago in Chicago.
they're so good.
Yeah, they were awesome. That was before the two members left recently, of course.
Okay. I hope they're still going strong.
They just
Well,
put
they
a new
had like
album out.
sorry?
They just put a new album out last year.
Well,
So,
I guess they are going strong. That's good. Yeah.
yep.
Uh, yeah. No, they were. They came out with what's it called? City something. Can't remember anyway. But there's a song called Lacquer, and there's a line that says the levee is breaking, and I was like, what is a levee? And I looked it up. Oh, now I get it. And then I was like, oh, this kid who's running around, and when I'm there, he's like calling me daddy, daddy, because his dad wasn't there,
Oh man.
really in his life. So he started calling me daddy, and I was like, all right. And we called him Levy. So I was like, this is the band is gonna be called Levy. Makes sense. So yeah,
It's got multiple meanings and names for you.
yeah. It sort of just came together. I was like, okay, that's the name. Let's go.
It's a good name too. It's a strong name. It rolls right off the tongue and
Thanks. Yeah, it's interesting how I think Americans they know what a levy is. They don't in the UK. So
really.
here, because I thought it was I'm Danish, right? So I thought, okay, this is an English word. I'm sure English people they know what a levy is, but they're like, levy is playing. I was like, what? What? No, we're not called levy. It's levy. Do you know? Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Oh, levee.
A
They
classic
don't. I think you
American
have more
song.
levees. Yeah, I think you have a lot of levees in the US compared to here in the UK.
Well, when the UK is the size of Illinois, yeah, we have a lot more levies.
You have a lot more everything.
A lot more everything.
So yeah.
But yeah, Don McLean, uh, American Pie, great song. He was actually just played the Hard Rock Casino, not too far from me here.
Really? He's still around.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
That's cool.
I see these
Yeah.
names pop up on the billboard at the Hard Rock Casino that are acts are coming to town, and it's like I had no idea they were still alive. Even like
Yeah,
Frankie
that's
Valli
funny.
came through last year, and it's like he's still alive. Holy shit!
Yeah.
His
That is funny.
performances are terrible. Ugh. If you look him up online, he's like 90. God, he's in his mid 90s now, and yeah, he just looks like a warmed over corpse.
Eh, Yeah. I mean, it's if you're it's funny because I realized this not long ago, and it was about Rob Flynn. Um, I realized that he and like when you're a musician and you make it and you play until you're like, I don't know what he is, mid 50s or something.
Yeah.
It's all you've done. You've never hold like a 9 to 5 job necessarily. You've never there's a lot of things that you haven't done. Maybe you haven't got like I don't know a university degree or whatnot because you broke through when you were probably fairly young, and then that was an income, and then that was what you honed and you became good at. I was like, oh, that's true. A musician that's been around for that long,
Mm-hmm.
that's what he knows. That's how it's from that angle he sees the world.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I don't know, I'm not quite sure what insight I gained, but it's just whenever someone goes up and tries to make this elaborate point about the world, I'm like, oh, it's from a musician's point of view who's never done anything but play music, I
Right.
guess.
And
Mm.
that's a really a big generation shift now because you got these old guard guys like Rob Flynn
Yeah.
and Machine Heads and the Metallicas is like this has always been their job. They've never had to have something to supplement that really.
No.
Whereas today's musicians, even in the bigger bands, the mid to high level bands even, they go on the, 2 to 3 month tours, international tours, whatever, but then they come home and they go back to their 9 to 5, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
And
Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, I'm a huge touring musician, but I also work here because I don't make any money off my record label.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're right. You're completely right. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's if you can get to a point where you can actually live off of being a musician,
Hmm.
oh man, that must be the dream. But you have to get to the Rob Flynn level, really. I have
Yeah.
a really good friend. or a couple of really good friends in a Danish band called Cabal, and they are Nuclear Blast signed. They were touring
I've
with Lorna.
heard of them. I have one of their songs on my Spotify, I think.
Awesome.
Exsanguination, I think. Cabal.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I found them a couple years ago and I love the song and they're great.
Yeah, they're super nice guys, dude. I
Hook me
really,
up.
really nice guys. Yeah, the front singer Andreas called into one of our LMC meetings, the London Metal Coalition meetings, and
Love the
to just sort of
LMC.
like, thank you, we love you, man, we love you, man, and yeah, just for us to like ask questions, like pick the brain of someone who has, made it to be signed to Nuclear Blast or Napalm, Nuclear Blast, I think it is, and who had like toured with Lorna Shore and they toured with Dying Fetus too, and like big bands.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just great. What was my point? I can't remember what my point. Oh yeah, he was like telling how like you land a tour. It's like first you have to really just look at your band as if your band is your full-time job.
Hmm.
Like the amount of emails they're sending out and contacts they're trying to make. Content they have to create. He was saying like he was saying to us all, if you believe that playing in a band this day and age is about making music and practicing it and playing it live and recording it and putting out albums, you're gonna have a hard time.
Oh yeah.
It's mainly just creating content and sending out emails and it's but anyway they can't live off of it by a long shot, so
Right.
they have these like part-time jobs I guess, or yeah, and then whenever they land a tour, they go on that and they are able to maybe earn a little bit, maybe just not lose any money on it,
Right. Break
which is
even.
still amazing. Imagine you go and tour the US and you come back and you
Oh.
haven't you haven't like lost any money. You've made money, maybe made a little bit of money from selling merch and whatnot.
That's where all the money comes from, really, for
Yeah,
these.
that's what I hear. Yeah.
I mean, in America, it's post COVID, it's become a real problem with venues taking giant merch cuts too. I mean, in
Really.
upwards of 40, 50% sometimes.
Yeah.
And
That's,
it's bullshit. Like I was talking to a tour manager for Dragged Under when they were out on tour with a band called 10 Years. Dragged Under was the band of are you familiar with Fluff on YouTube? Ryan
no.
Bruce? No. He's a guitar YouTuber and everything, and Dragged Under is his band.
Hmm.
And they played a couple big festivals over there and whatnot, and um where were we going with this? What was I talking about?
Oh,
Wow.
talk about selling merch.
That's it. Yeah. I was talking to their tour manager, and on their tour just kind of started. They were in LA early on, and the show wasn't very well attended. They sold like $100 in merch, and the venue was just came up to the guy after the show, and he's like, "Hey, my cut, my 40%." He's like, "Dude, we made $100 on merch tonight. Like we got to put gas in the fucking van, you know."
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't fucking care, give me my cut, so they
Yeah.
walked out with like $60, and it's like, well, shit, how the hell are we gonna eat on this? Do we eat or
Yeah.
put gas in the van? So
Yeah.
it's really bad over here for touring bands these days. So
Yeah. I hear, however, that um that's from Andreas, the front singer of Cabal too. He says that it's that when they play the US, um, they often sell more merch
hmm.
because people tend to be a bit more, I don't know, a bit more extreme fans. They're a bit, I guess here in Europe, we're like, oh yeah, no, this is a great band. Let's go and meet them. I mean, at the end of the day, they're just humans playing and they're great. We'll support them a little bit. And then over
Right.
there, he told me, he was like, this guy comes up and he has a tattoo of my face on his arm. And I'm like, like he said, "Oh yeah, that's great, thank you," but he was thinking, "What is going on?"
I can only that's like the ultimate compliment. It's like you've put my face on your body because you're such a huge fan. How the hell am I ever gonna make this up to you? You know?
I know. But yeah, but imagine that. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, yeah.
Do you think Levy could ever reach that point where you got fans tattooing your face on them? Would you want to
Ah,
reach that point?
this is a really good point. Would I want to reach that point? Probably not. And that's a weird thing to say, but I've been blessed with having a super fan, and it's someone here in the UK, and it's someone who's really into the band and who writes a lot and who's like, and that person has never met me, but it's just, and I'm super happy with any fan I have. Of course, we love it. Thank you for listening to to my music and um. But if it's like someone is like, your music has helped me through something, that's amazing. But that doesn't make me anything special necessarily. But if you can sort of feel that, I don't know, there's that sort of like imbalance between a person's perception of me and my perception of me as like just a chill, normal dude,
Right.
and then that perception of like, yeah. If that's how it is to be famous, if that's how it like say whomever who's a gigantic like let's say Metallica, right? A lot of people they have a relationship with Metallica.
Right.
We too, we have it. Metallica doesn't have a relationship with us.
Right.
So we're all like we know Metallica to some extent, and we know these people and stuff. We're like, ah, come here and give me some attention. It must be horrific to be Metallica and really only have each other
Yeah.
apart from,
Then
or
we
your
can't really go
family.
out in public or anything, without being
Yeah, exactly. And I think I came to a realization of that some years ago where because before I was very much focused on okay, let's make it. Let's become big. That was the aim. And you grind and you grind, you make new music, you play a lot of shows, and you have this idea that at some point I'm going to break through and I'll be known and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized I don't really need to be known.
right.
I like imagine like right now we're on a level where we could play a really good London underground venue and it will be a full night. It'll be full. We'll have 200 people there.
Right.
And I don't think you could play a show that is more fun than a small, sweaty room with 200 people going mental.
Oh yeah. I love
And
attending smaller shows.
it's so good.
It's more
'Cause you're close
personal.
to the people. You can jump into the crowd. You can do all kinds of different things. You're there. You're speaking to them. They're right there, right in front
Mhm.
of the stage. When you play big stages, we played a show in Malaga at a festival called Sun and Thunder this last year, is it now? And there were some big headliners like Creator and Paradise Lost, Myrkur, and stuff. We were playing on a stage that was quite big compared to what we've ever played.
Sure.
And we were very, very far from the audience. And so it becomes very much like us up here doing our things, performing to a crowd that's so far away that we're not really engaging with them. We're not like getting to know them by, what we normally do is we pull people on stage, right?
Sure.
And it's sort of like we try to melt that border between the stage and the audience as much as we can to make people feel that they were a part of the show and did some fun things that they'd never done. And you can't do that on stages that big. So I realized I've already made it. I'm playing these London venues that are quite legendary, and we play for full rooms. The night is sweaty and insanely fun, and we have a lot of really good friends from the London Metal Coalition. We play with other bands, and we know those people. And now, when we play in London, because of the London Metal Coalition, I'll know at least one third of the people in the audience. They're my friends,
Yeah.
and the shows are so much fun. So yeah, do I want to be famous? If someone, if all of a sudden, I don't know, a single went viral, or we started playing these like big bands. Yeah, let's try to do that. See, like, I'm not gonna throw that away.
Right. Just
But
go with the flow and see what happens, right?
exactly, that would, I'm sure that would be fun. That'd be great. Uh, but I'm still like, the shows we're playing now are just, they're so good for my soul. They make me immensely happy. There's no huge pressure. It's just good.
Right. So
Yeah.
really there's when it comes to music, there's kind of two levels of success. There's the monetary, I can live off this success.
Mm.
And then there's like, the success like you were just describing. Like you go and you can play to a room filled with 200 people and you just feel full.
Yeah.
And like this is what it's about. I
Yeah.
have made it on my own personal scale.
Yeah.
And
True.
that's really what matters, right? I mean, you're having a good time, everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
So,
Like, imagine, because we always, I think, as humans, we're always looking forward instead of looking backwards to see how far we've come to be where we are now.
right.
We're like thinking, okay, where is it that I'm not right now? Instead of being like, compared to where you were before. And since like, I don't know, the last 4 years, um, we made it from a band nobody knew about to now being one of the founding members of the London Metal Coalition, which we're now 70 plus bands just
Wow.
talking to each other. That's what we do. It's just bands talking to each other. And
Which is
I've
amazing.
it's just great because you just make a lot of friends. That's it. Community, that's really what it's about. And because you can go and play a show somewhere, and you don't know the people there. There might not be that many. Maybe some people come up afterwards. Oh, that was a great show, and that's fine. And you go home. Or you can play a show where, again, half of the people that are there are from other bands.
Hmm.
They might be playing the same night. If they're playing the same night, they will be in the mosh for you because you will be in the mosh for them,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Completely new way of thinking from before the London Metal Coalition. Uh, or they'll be from other bands that aren't playing, but they're just there to have a great time because we all know each other, and the circle of like people, or the network, just becomes bigger and bigger. Now you're part of it. You've seen, you were at Coalition Fest. I'm sure you sort of felt that there was like this sort of cohesive
It was. It's very
or
much a
adhesive
family.
within the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely a family, and I love it.
that's great, man. That's yeah. It's one of the things that I'm the proudest of having been part of. Like, I've been part of creating, right?
Now, how
Like,
did you create the London Metal Coalition? How did it all come together? Were you guys just like, we're all friends anyways. How can we help each other? Is that kind of how it started, or?
it's not really. So no one really created it. This is from my point of view. Like, it just sort of happened. And then there were a lot of people that did a lot of things, and they all pushed it a little bit more together. And all of a sudden, we had like something tangible. So it started in 2000, I think it was 21,
Oh wow.
or maybe tail, yeah, 2021. There was a big battle of the band, metal battle of the band thing called Metal to the Masses
Hmm.
in London. The winner got to play Bloodstock, which is the biggest outdoor metal festival here in the UK. And we were a completely new band, Levee, but we made it to the final. So, and that meant like winning 3 heats, and we
Right.
made it to the final. So 4 times were we at these shows, and many of the bands that we started meeting bands again and again, and people started, oh yeah, you're from that band and stuff, and we started talking to each other. But I think the most crucial point was during those heats, the way that the order of the bands that were playing on the night was decided was the band that arrived the earliest got to play the latest. And
Oh,
obviously,
nice.
everyone wanted to play latest because you had this idea that, okay, people are going to be the most drunk, the most wild, the most, the mosh is going to be the best. So, so people started just getting there really, really early. And I remember for the final, we played, so it was Levee, it was Secrium, that you know well,
Oh yeah.
Imperium, they won that year, a band called Bring to Bear, a band called Open Sight, and Detoxin, they were called. So six bands. And when we arrived, I arrived at like 10 in the morning. I saw, and I was was I the fourth band to play? Like I wasn't
Oh
even
my
early,
God.
but I think so. You know, you remember Dino from Secrium,
Oh yeah,
guitar
love
player.
Dino.
Oh,
Fantastic
he's
guy.
one of the best guys in the world.
Me and him had some we had some good times on tour.
Yeah. No, he is such a good guy. He had been sleeping in his car outside the venue from 6 in the morning. So Secrium ended up headlining. And but because of that, all of a sudden we were standing all these bands outside this on the pavement sidewalk and just like, okay, there's still 5 hours till they open the doors. What are we gonna do? And we would get some beers and just get to know each other uh and then so all of a sudden after all these heats, we got to a point where when we were playing the final, um, I remember we all went out. Like I think we were four of the bands, so we went out for a pint before the show, and and we were very genuinely just saying to each other, like, all the bands playing tonight are amazing. We've already won for being part of this final, and I wish for any band here to win. It doesn't matter who wins. We're just really happy to be here. And we were saying that to each other. I've never had that like sort of feeling of camaraderie between and support between bands ever before. And then Imperium won, and they did well, well deserved. And then afterwards, in the days after, there was a guy called uh, Lazarus from a band called Worship the Sacrifice,
Oh
and
yeah. They played a
he,
Coalition Fest.
yes, they did, and he set up a group chat because he was thinking, well, why don't we set up a group chat with where bands can sort of help each other, or just talk about things, and you know, instead of we're in competition, let's try to help each other. So he set up a group chat with I think it was seven bands to begin with, and it was all the bands that had played the final, and then a couple of other bands, Worship the Sacrifice being one of them, Albert being another one, and yeah, we set that up. I remember I reached out to a lot of bands to sort of try to explain what we're trying to do here. How about we just work together a bit, and there was some bands their feedback was, nah, we think it's better for bands to just grind for like a lot of years and really because we did that, so they should do that too. No free lunches kind of thing.
That old school kind of mentality.
Exactly. And so it wasn't for all bands, but all the bands that thought, yeah, this makes sense, sort of jumped on board. So that was Lazarus. He set up that chat. Then Casey from Halberd. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
love Casey. I was actually before I came to Coalition Fest, I was chatting a lot with Casey. I was gonna try I really wanted it to I didn't want to tell anybody I was gonna be there. Casey knew I was coming, that was it. And I
nice.
just kind of wanted it to be a big surprise for everybody, but I was too excited and I had to tell everyone.
Nice. Yeah,
I
no,
would just
Casey's.
love to see the guys from like like Sunny and all them from Secrum just shit their pants when they saw me there. I would have just loved that, but
Oh,
couldn't bring
yeah.
myself to do it. It's just like I gotta tell everyone I'm coming.
Awesome. No, it was fantastic you were there. Yeah. No, but anyway, actually, so what Casey did with Halbert, well, Casey and Halbert, they thought, okay, let's write a song and just invite everyone from the London Metal Coalition or every all these other bands that we've gotten to know, write them or invite them onto the song, and then they did a song called Legion in Arms, and we were like, I don't know, maybe 15 different bands or 10 different bands, something like that,
Wow.
on that, and that had an immense effect on just for all those bands feeling that they were part of the scene and like we were now doing something together. That was very, very important. Then I invited everyone in for the first meeting because I thought that was important. We need to meet up. Being in the chat, not knowing each other as well, like we need to meet up, get some drinks, hug each other, talk about stuff, and create community through being together.
Right. Physical energy needs to be part of this.
Exactly. And yeah, and then I invited everyone into Signature Brew. I reached out to Signature Brew because I lived in that house, that white house on the other side, very close by.
Hmm.
And I'd been to Signature Brew. I knew that all their beers were branded like Studio Lager or Rodeo Ale, or it's all, like it's all live music. Their
Yep.
taps are microphones, right? So,
I got the story behind those when I was over there.
yeah,
Yeah, those are legit Shure microphones,
yeah.
sponsored by Shure.
Oh, really? That's sponsored by them.
They are
That's
direct
amazing.
from Shure. Because
Great.
the owner of Signature Brew, Sam, I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah,
Sam,
I
yeah.
think I think you're right. Yeah,
He was telling me the story how he became friends with the guys from Shure, and they're like, "No, dude, we will take care of your tap handles for you." And those are legit Shure microphone
that's
components.
amazing. Yeah, I asked about them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, it's there's no electronics inside." But
Right.
yeah, that's amazing. That's a great story. So yeah, I invited everyone in and just like uh, come to Signature Brew. I have talked to Signature Brew. They're gonna give us a meeting room for free, and they're gonna give us all a couple of beers for free to drink. And I think just that the fact that when we, and I think everyone could feel that, like when we work together, instead of being one band going somewhere, now we're 10 bands. We go as the London Metal Coalition.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden you can get much more, you have much more leverage in your negotiations. So you
Oh yeah.
talk to Signature Brew and well, we're all these bands. Would you be able to, I don't know, sponsor a beer or two? Absolutely. And so we came out there and we basically drank for free and had one of the best nights. I think we were 7 people from 5 different bands. We had Andreas call in from Cabal and talk to him. That was also like we're talking to a band that's playing on or like signed on Nuclear Blast, and we can do so much when we're doing this together. So I did that. I set up also all the social media accounts, so Facebook and Instagram, and started just sharing other bands' posts because that was also something that didn't happen before. Like you wouldn't share other people's posts, but if you then we started doing that just for and it felt good. It was fun.
Right.
Then we were talking about okay, what should we call it? Should we have a name even? Oh yeah, and I actually liked the London Metal Alliance because there's a lot of la 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 la, a lot of else Metal Alliance.
Right.
It sounded good. It rolls really well off the tongue. But then all of a sudden, some guy had like, oh no, my some like tattoo artist came up with like the logo here, London Metal Coalition, and then all of a sudden we had a logo and okay, we're London Metal Coalition, great. And then so everything just sort of came together. A lot of people did a lot of different things, and then, but more than anything, everyone just supported it and loved just meeting up with their tribe of creative metalheads and just talk about how it is to be a creative metal musician
Mm-hmm.
and all the issues and like we help each other out with, if okay, I'm going to Leicester to play. Okay, where are we playing and what's who to reach out to? What is the venue there? And someone will help you out. I need some in-ear monitors. What is a good brand? Someone will help you out. I have a really, really difficult day and I'm contemplating people are there, right?
Right.
It's that like I've heard people say that without the LMC they wouldn't be here because it's just they needed community and all of a sudden there is community and all encompassing and yeah.
It gives
Anyway,
community and purpose and
so when your question was how I started it. So I didn't, but I was part of it and together with a lot of other really, really cool people that just really needed some community. And it has just made the scene so much more fun to be part of. So yeah, everyone added their energy and into it and their passion, and that became the London Metal Coalition.
now and I see too the London Metal Valkyries. Is that like an offshoot of the London Metal Coalition?
Yeah, so it's for women and yeah, women. It's for women plus it's called. So there are women and there are trans women in it, and it's to focus on, well, obviously creating community, uh, but also just to focus on making gigs safer and
Mm-hmm.
there are all those experiences of being a woman going to a metal show that I would never know about because I've never experienced them. Like you go out and you get groped a bit when some guy is like moving you at the bar, you're like unwanted attention and stuff.
Yeah.
Going out to shows alone as a woman can be challenging. So there's a lot of focus on that, just making it a more yeah, making it safer and more comfortable and yeah, just make people feel safe and also yeah,
We got to protect our
strengthen
ladies out there.
very important. And yeah, also just to support female represenation in metal,
Yeah.
which
It's
is
getting better all every
it it
year.
it is because the the aggression of a woman with a mic in a metal band, it's fucking poetry.
It
It's so
really
good.
is.
It's so uh yeah, no, I've it's yeah, so it's sort of like we support each other and they're doing their thing, but we're doing them together and yeah, just sort of trying to build each other. The more communities that can be created, the better, really.
Oh, sure. I mean, you kind of like you all work together, so you all kind of grow together and climb up that ladder together, right?
Yeah, true. And shows they put on, we help promote, and the other way around. And yeah, like finding your tribe, no matter where you are, what you do,
I had to
is
go
important.
overseas to find mine.
Yeah. Welcome, my friend. At least you
Oh,
found it. That's good.
yep. And I found it with all my other friends over here. So we all found our tribe together, which is awesome.
That's awesome, man. Yeah.
No, I love what the LMC does, and I love tagging when I did my photos. I love tagging you guys, and everyone shares everything, and it's so great. Unlike over here, there's it's a lot of competition more over here. That's kind of how bands operate, especially in the Chicago region, from how
Mm.
I notice it from my view. But yeah, it's a lot of competition, not a lot of bands wanting to really work together,
Yeah.
which is really unfortunate because the Chicago metal scene is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a lot of great bands come out of Chicago, Disturbed being one of them,
Yeah.
um, and geez, many others. Like who else? A lot.
Yeah.
Just say a lot.
But I think
Local
that's
H is from
also,
Chicago. Local
yeah,
H is a local. They're semi-local, two-piece band actually. So
cool.
you guys would fit on a bill great together. They're kind of like that '90s alternative kind of rock style, but
What are they called?
local H or
Local
H.
aid. Nice.
H for you British people.
Oh, H.
Local H, yeah, like the letter.
Local H. Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, local H.
Yep.
Yeah. That's cool. I'll check them out. I think also with, because there's a bit like saying Copenhagen,
Hmm.
Denmark, the bands playing there, and also to some extent the bands out of London. Like there are, it's the underground that has united, right?
Yeah.
Then you got bands that are just slightly above or far above, like, right? So let's say far above, that would be Iron Maiden, right?
Levee and
Exactly, exactly.
yeah.
There'll be bands like that, and obviously, if they want to support, they could do a lot of stuff, but they're doing their own thing. It's a business, right?
Oh yeah.
And they don't need this. Then you have bands that are living off of it, more or less, and they also, I think they're also more focused on what's going on um, outside of London. They're not diving into the underground. So it really is the underground that has come together here. But all the big bands, for the future, they start in the underground.
Exactly.
And because we all know each other, because there's so much talent, you're also seeing bands like doing better and better. And and the whole idea is, if we celebrate each other's success, so if a band all of a sudden pops off, they get all these incredible opportunities. That's amazing for them because I know them. And
Right.
I can say, oh, yeah, I played with these guys back in the day, or I've, because they're good friends, maybe I can jump on a lineup at some point in the future. And so anyone's success in the London Metal Coalition really is something that all bands can celebrate, which I really think is the case. Of course, we all want to be the band that lands like a really cool show somewhere,
Oh sure.
but because we're all really good friends, then we want our friends to also, get to play really, really cool things. So yeah,
That's why Coalition Fest is so amazing. You all come together and play an amazing show over 2 days, which is,
yeah,
I mean, for a small metal festival, that a 2-day festival is amazing. You know,
it, yeah, and we're able to get in big headliners too now, and uh,
how's
yeah, like
Coalition Fest 26 looking? How's that coming together?
I don't really know. It's all run by a guy called Debs. He played in you saw him in Call of Fenrir.
Okay,
Um,
great band. They were awesome.
yeah, they're great, very very good. And yeah, so we have bands applying to play,
Okay,
and I have so far been quite sort of involved in putting Coalition Fest on. I don't know if I can be involved this year, but I'm sure it's in good hands. There's a festival in uh, Spain that I'm thinking of going to,
okay.
so I wouldn't be able to be there anyway. So yeah, I'm probably gonna give. I mean, I've been part of the three first festivals that have gone from start first and foremost, we just started. We tried. Can we do this? Because we were like, well, we're a lot of bands. Why don't we just put on our own festival? Yeah, let's do it. Let's try it, and that worked. We made our money back, um, and then the next year we made it a bit bigger, and then this third year, last year, we had it at Signature Brew, and it was even bigger, and it was a success. So I think it's one of those fests that could grow over the next, say, if we keep doing it for like 10 years
Oh yeah.
and try to push and grow it, it, hopefully it's yeah, no, in 10 years it's an outdoor thing.
That'd
Open
be
air.
incredible.
Why not? Like you can, yeah. So yeah, it's fun. It's yeah, it's just such a celebration of like community and just yeah, bands putting on this thing for the fans and for each other and just for having a great night out. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, like when you were growing up and and a teenager or whatever, going to shows in your younger years, and
Mhm.
what was it kind of like? Did you get a feeling of camaraderie from the bands back then, like when you would interact with them, or was it
So
more very much us versus them back then?
that's a good question. I didn't go to any shows when I was a teenager.
I didn't
I
either.
grew up on a pig farm, and there was a venue in the city that I went to school, but there wasn't a scene.
Sure,
Maybe there were a couple of like random bands playing something, but like hardly anything. So the first time I sort of started playing in a band and being in a scene, that was in Shanghai. And in Shanghai, it was incredibly supportive because we were very, very few bands.
sure.
So we just automatically became good friends by playing shows together. And and back then, this like mentality of, all right, we're on a lineup. There are three other bands. Great. You meet up and you talk about okay, who's playing when and all this, and all right, let's give them a fucking great show. All right.
Right.
Us, all the four bands, we're in it together to deliver something great for the people that are here. And then I was in London, and it was more like I played in a band called Wygede, playing drums in a band called Wygede. And I remember when we played some gigs, we put on some gigs with like three or four other bands. We would go and okay, what band is playing now? It's this and this. Okay, and we would sort of be standing at the back and be like, are they any good? Yeah, they're all right, but I mean, we're better. We're gonna go up there and completely like show everyone that we're the best.
Right.
And then, you know, the band that would be playing would have their fans up front to support them, and everyone else would sort of be at the back and like, yeah, what are they? So instead of being like, we're all here together, let's have a great show. Let's get to know each other. Let's get to play some great tunes and build each other up. Um, so yeah,
It was very
and
much the
with
stereotypical, like oh yeah, they're cool, but meh,
yeah.
kind of like
And
that. It
it,
seems
really
like.
good. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, yeah, no, are we better? There's a lot of like I don't know, consciousness about playing with, oh, are we any good? Or are they better? And what, oh, no, we can, it was shit. It was just not fun. But a good, a good sort of comparison was like last year, I think in the beginning of last year, we were asked by a random promoter in London to play a show. And we would put on a night where I think there was seven different bands playing. And it was a little bit sort of east and west, kind of like, as in, or all over the place, as you say in English. We played hard rock. There was some like industrial metal. There was some pop rock. It was some different bands, and they were all bands I didn't know. None of the bands knew each other.
Hmm.
We were headlining, and as I'm going on to headline, I realize the Floyd Rose of my guitar has sort of fallen down.
Uh-oh.
And I think it's because it's a fairly new guitar, it's a Schecter, and I think the whole neck has just gone a little bit.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, all of my strings were just lying onto the fretboard. And I'm like, unless I really pressed really hard, wasn't I able to get like a tone out of it? And I'm like, okay, my guitar is fucked. And there's been seven bands on before, and I like go up, okay, any other guitar in this room from any of the other bands that I could play. all the other bands had left
Jesus.
because they'd played. So why would they stay? And and I just reminded me, whoa, this is not a London Metal Coalition gig because of course you stay until the very end
Yeah.
because you want to support your boys or your girls that are going on stage. And I was just like, oh yeah. So I played, actually managed to play the set on a guitar that was broken
That's
because
impressive.
when you just crank it up and just pretend that everything is sounding exactly like it's supposed to, people
Nobody's
will
gonna
believe
know.
you. Yeah. The power of pretending you're on top. That can put people in you know, that can make people presidents even.
Oh yeah.
Very powerful.
It's scary, isn't it?
It is very much so, yeah. Um,
Well, we've been chatting for a while.
we have
So,
it's really nice. It's
yeah.
like a podcast slash just like a nice catch up with a friend. I like it a lot, man.
Yeah. This is how I like to run things, just kind
Uh-huh.
of hang out. But so what's Levy got coming up in 2026? I mean, you had a few singles last year. What do you got coming this year?
We got some more singles coming out this year, and then an album. So the entire album is recorded and ready to go into press.
Nice.
We want to make vinyls. I'm a bit of a vinyl nerd.
And vinyl's coming
Uh,
back.
oh man, I love a good vinyl. And yeah. Anyway, so there's something incredibly wonderful about you make an album and you then have that physical copy of it in front of you as a vinyl. The artwork is big and beautiful, and you've made it, and you're like, oh, awesome, and you can put it aside.
Yep.
Then look elsewhere. Okay, where are we going now? Everything, all your creativity up until now, good, solid, stamp, done. Let's move on. And it's really nice. I like that. So we're yeah, so that is all ready. The next couple of songs are gonna come out over the next couple of months. Um and yeah, so that's one thing. Then we're also gonna play Metal to the Masses Kent edition.
Nice.
Yeah. And we that's in February. We have a show there, and then we have in January 30th, we're playing the Fighting Cocks, which is also like a legendary underground venue in Kingston, which is, you still consider that London. It's a great venue. And that's sort of where we are. That's how we're gonna start everything. And yeah, then we want to go to Denmark to play too,
Yeah.
if possible. I have a lot of connections here in Denmark, and we've built up a little bit of I don't know, a following enough to like be able to, I'm sure, get some people to come in and watch us because we're this Danish band in London, and so also just all my friends that have never seen me play live because for some reason they think London is far away. Uh, it's
Yeah.
like an hour by plane,
Yeah.
but
Tell them they
still,
can go fuck themselves. You got a guy come all the way from America to watch you play.
exactly, exactly. They can fuck right off.
That's right.
They can they can go do one anyway. So, but I can come there, and I'm quite sure that we'd be able to pull some people in and play for some people in Denmark, and that'd be just loads of fun to try that out. Um, yeah. So want to go and play more regionally in in the UK. We've almost well solely played London and Kent
Okay.
in the UK so far, but there are great cities to play. Like Brighton is big. You've been to Cardiff,
Nottingham was fun.
Bristol, Nottingham up there, Midlands. I played in Nottingham. I played in Leicester. Birmingham has some great places. Um,
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah,
we were at Dead Wax Digbeth up there in Birmingham.
what was it called?
Dead Wax?
Dead Wax. Okay, I played
It's a
something called Scruffy Murphys up
yeah,
there.
it's a newer venue, I believe. I don't remember
Hmm.
what it used to be called, but it was pretty cool. It was
Yeah.
nice. It was the last show of the tour.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we hope to go and play that. And we've talked to we might do a double headliner tour with them Bloody Kids.
Okay.
Don't know
I've
if you
seen the
remember
name.
them.
I haven't listened to him yet, but
Yeah, fantastic band. They're really really good and just absolute stellar dudes. Uh, so yeah, that's the plan. Um, we are the I'm trying to meet up with a really good friend of mine here in Denmark who's an art photographer
oh,
who's
nice.
done artwork for several bands here, metal bands. And so I hope to meet up with him one of these days to shoot some covers for a couple of singles. And then I'm the idea for the vinyl artwork is at this point is it's still a working sort of title and working idea, but I think it's going to be called it's Levee, and then it's going to be called The Little We Can Do, and then I want I've I want to have like a little boy standing in white shirt and black tie going like this, completely smeared in blood and shit, and
Oh,
like
nice.
somewhere. That's the idea. Somewhere, probably somewhere in some boring UK suburban, I don't know, something like that. That's the idea. And I think I have found a kid that is very happy to be smeared in blood, and his parents are completely supportive of it. That can be a bit tricky. So,
I'm sure.
yeah. Um, so yeah, that's sort of what we have in store, and just to play as many fun shows really, because that's when it matters, you know, when
Right.
you make all these songs and you sit in the studio, you listen back to it, and you're like, whoa, this sounds amazing. And you're thinking this would be so great live. So that's where it lives, and that's where it's fun to be in the music. So as many shows as possible. So yeah, that's the plan.
Nice. I got one more question actually, talking about, hearing music in the studio.
Hmm.
Now, have when you get the music and you hear it in the studio and you're like, yeah, this is great, this is great, and then you get out there and you start playing it live and it's like, man, this just doesn't have the oomph it did in the studio. So
Mhm.
when you're recording in the studio, how important is it for you to have, when you're tracking, like, if you can't play it live, then I don't want to do it because
Mm,
it's just you and a drummer.
true. So in the studio, it's still just me and a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's so the guy that his name is Alessio Garavello. He is the sound engineer that we work with, and he has his own band called A New Tomorrow. He's also like he is toured with as the front singer of Dragon Force and stuff. Like he's
That's who you just played with at Cart and Horses, correct?
yeah, it was yeah, super nice guy. But anyway, he is incredibly good at what he does. So he so I've played there are three takes of my guitar. One of them has is just focusing on like the low ends
Mm-hmm.
to give like a big, yeah, you know, make it
Big
full
bottom
enough.
end, yeah.
Exactly. And then there's one left and one right, in left and right speakers. But every time I'm playing, there's is it six? No, five different mics around the amp,
Right.
the amplifier, the cabinet that are recording from five different places. So that means that every time. So it's 3 takes. So it's 15 different microphones
It's 15
that have
tracks.
taken the sound that you hear when you hear like a song like Anchor or White Walls and Black Holes or Comrade. It's or even Metal is a Lie. It's 16 microphones you're listening to. So, so of course that sounds wonderful and polished and great and big and powerful if you listen to it on a nice sound system.
Hmm.
Live, I use I split my signal. So one signal goes into a guitar amp, one goes into a bass amp. And
Okay.
already there it becomes much bigger. Then I
Yep.
have an octave pedal and I add a little bit of octave below
Okay.
to make it even bigger. So live, it's always very punchy. Um, so I've never had that. And it was also important for me when I went into the studio this time around for this next album to work with this sound guy to find a way for us to actually just have drums and guitar recorded, but make it sound big enough. So and he was able to, and yeah. So, but also when you play live, everything is just louder and bigger.
Yes.
And and I and again we have a very simple setup. It's me on my guitar and drums. And and at times, if you don't have like a lot of monitor and you don't really hear yourself, like the sound on stage isn't that good,
Right.
you just have to always remember this the sound guy is out there and he can hear how it sounds out there. So I'm sure it sounds great out there. It's
Right.
just me here that might not be able to, like, it doesn't sound that great for me, but out there it's great. So sell it. Right. So
And always
yeah,
treat your sound guy with respect, otherwise you will not sound great.
that's true. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a good sound guy, oh man, is great. And a terrible sound guy with terrible attitude can just,
Ruin
oh,
your
that can
night.
be very hard. Yeah. Oh man. So yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Man, we've been chatting for a while.
yeah.
Probably should wrap this up because I know you said you got the kids getting to bed a little bit later on, so
Yeah, that's true.
probably start winding down for that. But I really appreciate you joining me.
Of
We
course,
need to do
man.
this
Anytime.
again, like more often. Be a regular
I'd love
guest.
to. I'd love to, man. Yeah. Um, yeah, anytime you need me for anything, man. However, I can support you over there.
Yeah,
Again,
well,
you've
likewise too. I mean, I do what I can to support the LMC and promote it over here, which
lovely,
isn't
man.
much, but I do what I can.
The fact, no, but that's the whole thing about the LMC. Like, if everyone gives just a little bit, then it becomes a lot in the end.
Hmm.
So uh yeah, like it's like in Comrade, this my latest single, where we the chorus is, no, not the chorus, the verse is this line from Edmund Burke that says, "Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could do only a little." And I think that's very potent. So that got 2 verses. The same with
Yeah,
anything. You're doing the little you can, and it's enough, man. As long as you're doing something, then we'll be fine.
yeah.
We'll be fine.
Pushing the name and the bands around out there, and
Lovely,
I
man.
would love to see you all just blow up in America, every single one of you. If
We would
I've told
love to.
people, if I ever win the big Powerball lottery and like $1 billion or whatever, I just knock something over. It's like I'm gonna charter a plane. I'm gonna charter all my favorite LMC bands, and we're gonna set up a giant fucking festival over here and just introduce the U.S. to how London fucking does it.
That would be amazing, man. But yeah, I'm again. Uh, if yeah, I would happily fly to Chicago and play a couple of shows, and and also just to hang with you, man. And yeah, play a couple of shows and hang in the US for a bit, come back. That'll be fun.
It'd be a great time.
It would be.
But we'll
Absolutely.
have to make it happen soon. We'll see how things play out in this country here with
That's
them
true.
letting people in because there's might be some new rules coming through for because like we have to apply for visa to come over there, but not like a travel visa. But and I guess you have to do the same to come here, but they're trying to add a bunch of new like five like they're gonna want 5 years of social media history, work
I
history,
know.
and it's like
Like, I mean, that's very, very that's fucked.
yeah. So I'm pretty much advising all of my foreign friends like don't come to America. Just stay home.
Mm,
It's not
yeah.
worth it right now.
Imagine that if you said something about the leaders that is negative, you might not come in.
Yeah. Just one thing
That is
even years ago, you know.
that it is that is pretty mental. Yeah. But I mean, trash talk Denmark, please, and the UK, and come here, and we've got our arms open. Freedom
I
of
love
speech, baby.
that's right. But not freedom from consequence. I've always people got to remember that too.
That is true. If you're in front of a very drunk British guy and you're having to go at his fucking country, he's probably not, he's just gonna fall. He's gonna try to swing and he's gonna fall, but
I could
still,
take him. I could
I'm sure.
probably take any British guy. I'd drink it all under the table.
Because you're bussing on them 16 pints of LMC juice.
Yeah, oh man, won't do that again. Yeah, I will. I will. I will do that again. Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's
But
awesome, man.
yeah.